Good morning. Today on Spotlight, an in-depth conversation with the man who gets to ride herd over the busiest people's court in the state of Michigan. Chief Judge William C. McConaughey is serving his second term in that illustrious position. This morning, we'll talk to him about his court's new cash bail reform system that is being watched closely around the globe. It's Sunday, September the 4th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. Judge William C. McConaughey, thanks for joining us today on Spotlight. You're doing okay?
I'm doing great, Chuck. Thanks for having me.
It's certainly our pleasure. All right, I've known you for a long time, and I've never known. What's the C for in the middle initial?
My middle name is Chavez. It was a nickname my dad received up in college, and I still don't understand why. But it was his nickname in college, and he put it as my middle name.
All right, you get to carry it on. All right, on a serious note, a few weeks back, you got, I'd say, a fair amount of publicity, not just here in Southeast Michigan, but even across the nation about the cash bail reform. Were you pleased with the coverage that you got, and was the reaction to the press conference about what you thought it would be?
One, I was actually overwhelmed by the coverage. We received international attention. There were papers in London writing articles about the reform that we were having here in Detroit at 36th District Court. The fact that our former Attorney General, Eric Holder, came in to the press conference showed the gravity of what we were doing and how this was going to be a decision that can help change how bonds/bails are carried out in the entire state of Michigan. There was some trepidation by a couple of prosecutors, by some police organizations. We expected that. We had some great conversations with Prosecutor Worthy before and after the press conference, and I understand some of their unease, but I've done my best to assuage those anxieties, and we're moving forward. And I think it's going to be a great reform for the citizens of the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan.
The American Civil Liberties Union sued you, the courts, and said, hey, this is not a fair system. This is not how justice is supposed to work. In response to that, you pulled different organizations together and you said, okay, let's try to fix this. How have you fixed it?
Right. So,
or at least in the process of trying to fix it, I should say.
So the court was sued in 2019, a year prior to before I became the chief judge. One of my first tasks in becoming the chief judge was to make sure we had an indigent defense system for all of our defendants were at every stage to have an attorney. And the next stage was to meet with the ACLU, get all of our counsel together, and take it from being an adversarial situation to how can we best work to make sure we have a fair system. We wanted to bring in national partners from the NACP Legal Defense Fund. We wanted to bring in the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, which is a place where most of the people who are incarcerated are jailed. It was a pleasure working with Raphael Washington, our sheriff, and bringing law enforcement to the table, bringing lawyers to the table, civil rights activists to the table, and judges to make sure that we are covered on all bases. And so what we've done, Chuck, is literally overhauled our system. No longer will people sit in jail awaiting hearings for low-level misdemeanors, traffic offenses, and if it is a felony offense, if they are to receive a cash bond, certain parameters must be met, because we want to keep those incarcerated who should be incarcerated, and we don't want to incarcerate anyone who should not spend a second in jail.
Judge, give me an example. To say someone had a minor traffic violation, not a heinous crime by any stretch of the imagination. What kind of bond were they being issued by the court?
Well, I call it the trifecta. The one of the biggest tickets we'll have is a person is driving without a valid license, there's no proof of insurance, and there's no valid registration. If they miss their court date, a lot of times they were receiving a $500, $5,000, 10% bond on each case. So that was $1,500 to get a hearing, or if they got picked up on a warrant. And $1,500 for 3 traffic offenses is a lot of money. Another example of even if a judge was giving a lower bond, judges weren't giving bonds lower than $100. So that would be $300 of a cash bail for not having proof of registration, insurance, or valid license. And people were sitting in custody for weeks on that ticket, and we can't have that.
One question before we go to the break. So obviously there was a financial difference here that if you were someone who had a really good job and you made a substantial sum of money, then you could probably afford the bond. If you were someone who did not have a job or maybe not a job with a lot of income coming in, it was difficult for you to be able to make that, even though you had not been convicted of a crime. And we indeed say in this country you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But did you also notice an age difference? Was this affecting more young people who maybe have not been working that long, had not built up any savings versus
Well,
older
it's
people?
it's very interesting that you say that. That was an impact. If you have a longer work history, you may have $300 in the bank, or your spouse. If you're older, you may have a spouse or someone that can help you. You are having situations where younger people, if their parents or guardians or aunt or uncle could not afford to give them the money, they didn't have it themselves. They were spending time in custody. You had a lot of single mothers that you would see. We don't know who was caring for their children. You don't know how their kids were getting to school, but they were in custody for 14 days on traffic offenses. And, that doesn't make the community safer. And that's why I wanted to stress that on felony offenses, our magistrates and our judges are going to take into account the safety of the community, flight risk, as well as ability to pay. But on these traffic offenses, we're going to take away that financial burden. But we want people to come to court. I want to stress that. You got to come to court. But we're no longer going to impose these cash bonds.
All right, we're going to take a little quick pause for the cause. When we come back, I want to talk to you about who may be opposed to this cash bail system and what you are going to do to be able to judge the system and whether or not the system is working down the line. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back to Spotlight, talking to Judge William C. McConaughey. He is the Chief Judge of the 36th District Court. As we mentioned in the open, it is the busiest court in the state of Michigan, and I think the 5th busiest in the nation. Let's look at a couple of these reforms that will take place as a part of this. You have what you call bail redetermination hearings, as well as counsel for defendants. Talk a little bit about that and the significance.
So if a person is arrested, it's a felony offense, when they are going for their arraignment, they will have met with an attorney before they go before our magistrate for their bond hearing. Let's say the magistrate finds that there may be a flight risk or the offense is necessary that there's a cash bond. So they give them a 100,000 10% bond, which is $10,000. If they cannot make that bond within 48 to 72 hours, either that magistrate or a judge will come in and have a redetermination hearing to see whether that bond was appropriate, whether we went through the steps to determine ability to pay, and then that judge will make the decision that yes, that $10,000 bond, even though it's not affordable to that person based on the relevant factors, is a satisfactory bond, and then it would go on the track for the pretrial conference as well as the preliminary exam. But there's multiple chances where bond will be able to be addressed to make sure that that bond is being tailored for that particular defendant and individual situation. There's no such thing as a redetermination hearing in the state right now. We're going to be the first court that's going to do that before that defendant goes for his probable cause conference or his preliminary exam. Now we are part of a system where every person that comes through 36th District Court on a criminal case will have a lawyer that is there, that is going to follow their case and work with them so they can argue bond, argue all of their constitutional rights from the first step. Previously, people were arraigned without having counsel. now there will be counsel at every step. And based on what the city of Detroit and our partners with Legal Aid, Lakeshore, and NDS now on landlord tenant cases, if you have a landlord tenant case, when you come to your Zoom hearing, there is a lawyer waiting on you to discuss your rights and discuss how to move forward. So we have taken care of the landlord tenant side and the criminal. And Chuck, one thing I'm trying to do within the next year is on civil cases to have attorneys there also, because I don't believe it's a fair system when you have attorneys on one side and just an individual on the other side. The system is complicated enough, and so we're going to try to have lawyers in every proceeding at 36th District Court.
Mr. Chief Judge, who has opposed you the most on this reform?
Well, you have prosecutors associations. I just actually found out a couple of days ago the Oakland County prosecutor was at the Michigan District Judges Association, and she gave some disparaging words concerning our bond initiative and our bail reform. And I plan to reach out to the prosecutor of Oakland County. I've never spoken with her.
What's her concern?
Just that this is going to move to other district courts, and she believes that it's not a safe system. And I want her to understand that those who have committed crimes where incarceration is needed and a cash bond would help with that, they will receive a cash bond. But those who are not a threat to our community or a threat to not appear in court, we are going to have a fair system, and they're not going to have a cash bond. In the past, Chuck, people have equated safety with cash bails. And really, if we both commit a crime and the bond is 50,000, and because you've done well in your life, you're able to post that 50,000, and I'm not, that doesn't make you less of a threat to the community. It just means you have economic means. And so we have been ingrained to think that cash bail somehow protects the community. What protects the community is having wraparound services, is making sure people are properly monitored while they're out in bond, making sure we have people checked to make sure the person is coming to court. And if a person is violating any of their bond conditions, to have a bond hearing to change their bond. But just a blanket bond or bail does not make anyone safer.
Mr. Chief Judge, you are doing this in the backdrop of what many would consider a crime wave going on in the city of Detroit. We've seen recent press conferences from Mayor Duggan as well as the Detroit police chief trying to address this matter. Is what you're trying to do, is that going to feed into more criminals out, more violence, the average person being unsafe?
Absolutely not. And if you just look at the situation, the unfortunate occurrence that happened on the west side of Detroit over the weekend, the person who's charged with that crime went through our court this week. His bond was no bond. He was remanded to the Wayne County Jail as his case proceeds because the allegation would show that person is a possible threat to the community. So we're not going to have a one-size-fits-all system anymore. We're going to look at each individual case, each individual defendant, and make the best decision on that. And so I want all the citizens that are hearing to know that Detroit will be a fair place, but not an unsafe place, because people who don't deserve cash bail will not receive one.
You said at the top of the program that this has gotten international attention, so you're being watched around the world for this. Is there an example of where this has worked and worked really well, that has been sort of a mentor program for you that made you say this is worth the risk?
Yeah. Harris County in Texas, Houston, Texas, when the ACLU sued them before us, you have shown there has not been an increase in crime. You actually have people not losing jobs based on being incarcerated and missing work. You're seeing the system is working the way it's supposed to work. And that is the biggest example. There are some on the East Coast, but what we know, and like I said, I had a very long discussion with Attorney General Eric Holder. He was trying to bring bail reform to the Attorney General's office when he was, the AG in the Obama administration. He talked about that Robert Kennedy convened a session on bail reform and cash bail reform in 1962. And so this has been something for 60 years that we have seen as an issue, but people have not had the courage to step forward and make the changes, to talk to people, to ensure people feel safe. But we have to change this broken system, and it's been broken for 6 decades.
We'll be right back, and I promise we'll give you a chance to talk about how you're going to judge this reform. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Judge McConaughey, how will you judge whether or not this system is working? Have you set a timeline by such and such we're going to thoroughly evaluate whether or not this reform is working?
One of the things, this is a very data-driven system, so we're having to, at real time, put everything in, how many people are arraigned, how many people are staying in custody for how long, and our tech guys are going to be analyzing that. And what's very important, and it's different than the lawsuits in other places, is we have a community partner, which is kind of observing the settlement, and that's former U.S. Attorney Saul Green. And so he works for the agreement. So if the court is not living up to what's supposed to happen in the agreement, or if the agreement is not working, he will bring us both together, the ACLU and 36th District Court, and we'll work to solve whatever problem that is without having to go back into federal court. But we will be monitoring our data on a weekly basis. And then there'll be anecdotal evidence also. You'll see if it's working. But this is going to be a data-driven system, and we have a community partner to hold us responsible and accountable to make sure this is a safe, efficient system that we're doing.
And we should note that former U.S. Attorney Saul Green knows the judicial side, but he also knows the political side, having been in that realm and someone close to the community. So he understands the give and take between the two, which leads me into a question. Let's talk a little bit about being in charge of the 36th District Court. Now let's look a little bit at your background. You were a tennis star, both at UAD High School and at Morehouse College down in Atlanta. You served 2 terms in the Michigan legislature representing the 5th House District. And then you are an attorney by profession, got your law degree at Case Western Reserve University over in Ohio. But did any of that compare to riding herd over a whole bunch of judges, all of who probably would like your job?
No, it didn't. Actually, I'll tell you though, Chuck, the thing that prepared me most for this was my time I spent as a teacher as well as a coach. Now, I believe in team concepts. I believe in meeting people where they are. You can't coach the same player. You can't coach every player the same way. Some people want to be coached hard. Some people you gotta put your arm around them a little more. And that's how I work with our judges. Our judges are duly elected individuals. They're all scholars. They're all accomplished. And so I want to make them all, put them in a position where they can be most successful. But also, I have to show them a vision. I have to drive the court. And I have to push the court into a new, and make it a new dynamic court. And that was one of the things about the pandemic. There are very few good things. But the pandemic showed us that we can do things differently. The worst thing that you can ever have is that we've always done it this way. That's not an answer that's acceptable to me. If you're going to say we've always done it this way, you have to say why that worked. So we are doing things differently. We're adding more technology. We were doing that before the pandemic, but the pandemic showed us that we can be dynamic. We can take the court to the people, and the judges are buying in, and our over 300 staff members, they're buying in. I walk the floor of the whole courthouse to talk to our employees, see what can I do better, what can our administrative team do better to make their jobs work more efficiently, and I constantly communicate with my judges. And probably they think I over communicate because I'm an email and text guy, but I don't need to have a big bench meeting to talk to you about what's going on at the court and how can we be more successful.
Was it
basketball coach and a teacher?
Is it safe to say that the political hat that you wore when you were in the legislature, in which you had to be responsible to your constituents, made you say, even in this sort of what people view as an ivory tower in the legal court system, that you have to also have these type of outreach programs to the community to make sure that they understand what you're doing and vice versa, because ultimately they're the taxpayers that are paying for all the salaries.
Chuck, absolutely. And that's why I started a community relations position at our court. That's why I do 2 to 3 community meetings myself per week. I also have judges that go out to community precinct meetings, block club meetings to let them know what we're doing. So one day, the presiding judge of the traffic division will go to the 11th precinct and say, this is what we're doing. These are the new changes that we've made. The next month, it will be our specialty court judge. And I took all of our new judges that were appointed by Governor Whitmer, took them around to the community. So they haven't elected them, but these are the people who are at 36th District Court. And I let people know this is the people's court. This is your court. More people are going to have issues or business at the district court than there are in the Michigan Supreme Court or the Michigan Court of Appeals. They're not going to have a lot of work there, but they're going to have a landlord-tenant issue. They may have a civil issue. They may have a small claims issue. They may be a victim of a crime, or they may have a family member who is a defendant. But we want 36th District Court to be accessible and be there for the community, and so we're taking it to the community.
Judge, 30 seconds left. Final question. Looking back on your career, what would be the ideal next step for Judge McConaughey if he's so lucky? Would it be sitting on the Michigan Supreme Court, or maybe even if you're lucky enough, the U.S. Supreme Court?
Well, Chuck, yeah, I'm gonna go back to my political days. I am very pleased to serve the citizens of Detroit as chief judge of the largest district court in the state of Michigan. And what I want to do is to be the best chief judge that our court has ever had. And if I'm that means our court has moved in a positive direction. I am still relatively young, even though I have this gray hair. And if something happens at a later time, that I will be always at a ready. But right now, I'm really concentrated on making 36 the best court that it can be.
All right, as I tell people, that gray hair sometimes means you got a whole lot of wisdom and you earned it.
Judge, I'll take that too.
Judge Bill McConaughey, always a pleasure talking to you. Best of luck in all that you're doing. We'll stay in touch with you and get you back so that you can tell us later down the line if all this has indeed worked the way you wanted it to.
Thank you very much for having me, Chuck.
Thank you so much, and have a great Labor Day.
Okay, you too.
And we'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this. Well, that's it for this Sunday. Have a happy and safe Labor Day. I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.